In the last episode, I looked at how to get started in an online physics classroom. And this time, I'd like to look at the equipment that I'm using. There's no right or wrong way. There is the equipment that works for you. Everyone's situation is different, and you do what you can with what you have. But I hope that by sharing my setup with you, you'll see if there are things that might be useful for you, or if somebody's reaching out to help, it might give you a clearer idea of things that you might wish to ask for. I've been influenced by my colleagues and my students in the whole online process, and also by people all over the world who are posting and sharing their experiences. The two articles that I've been reading this week have been really useful for me, just confirming that the things that we're doing where I am and the things that I'm doing personally are indeed on the right track. One of those was shared by the Effortful Educator, and it's a post about the 5 pillars for the online classroom. And number 2 is talking about carrying over norms when possible from the physical classroom. And I've tried to set up my equipment to enable me to do just this. So I have a computer with a webcam and a microphone, and that's important for speaking with students in online conferencing. But I also have a second monitor, and that gives me more screen space so that I can keep track of all the things that I need during my lesson. You will see, in addition to pieces of paper, which is how I started, I've used online shopping. We're very fortunate where I am that companies are still able to deliver. So I now have this whiteboard, and it has these markers, which is a trick that I learned from Sons of Technology. And as always, in the description, there's a link to a folder with all the resources. So you can see this for yourself. They do a far better job of explaining how it works than I do. But it basically uses the Rocketbook app to take a photo of the board and convert it to a PDF, and that arrives in my inbox as soon as I've used the free app. I've also got a little Rocketbook border on the table next to me, and so anything that I write by hand can be transferred in the same way. And at the end of the lesson, I give my students a PDF file. That's especially useful for students who miss the lesson and need to access it afterwards. They don't have to be physically connected during the time of the lesson. I also have a demo cam. Now, this is a little camera, a little webcam, which I have positioned over the desk, and so I can show my students various things. I happen to have a tripod to use it, which you saw in my demonstration of charging batteries, if I can find it. So this was positioned on the desk, and students can see what I'm doing. And I've got some simple apparatus as well, just some things that I happen to have at home that I can show to my students. I'm very fortunate that I have that opportunity. Other things that I'm using are earphones, and that really helps in the conference, because if there's more than one microphone on and somebody's speakers are feeding back into their microphone, that doesn't help. And if the connection is bad, then I need to use a microphone as well. And so I found this little splitter very useful. And this just means that I'm connecting my earphones into the computer, but also a microphone so the students can hear me better. And the simplest piece of equipment of all, pen and paper. And so just having a list of students where I can write comments in every lesson and see that they're there and see if they've got technical problems or questions, that's really useful for me as well. So I hope this has been useful to you. And for many of you, I'm sure this is not a revelation. Every tool that we use comes with benefits and features, but also a cost, even if it's free. That could be the cost of using one tool over another, which you could have used in its place. The trick again is not to seek perfection, but just to make a start and to move forward. And remember to enjoy the physics. See you next time.